You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's ride!
All right. Why are you laughing?
The king of the transitions there.
I know. I dropped right back into the piano. I forgot about the intro music. I said, shit. Oh no. We're going back into the piano, the Christmas jazz. I'm happy that it ended, that this stream ended on Oh Holy Night though. My favorite. Absolute favorite.
Great one.
Yeah, Jay's here, by the way.
Hi, guys.
It was Saturday night, and I was in here with Sal. Before I had gone, I'd mentioned this on air. Before I had come to the studio, then I came here around 5:30 to prepare, and 7 o'clock people are coming. I was going to stream at 8. Just wanted to make sure things in here were clean. And Sal was going to be coming by, but he said, he had texted the group chat, said, "What's everybody up to?" and stuff like that. I said, "Well, I'm just getting my everything in order at home. I'm going to head over to church around 3:30 for confession, and then just roll right into mass at 4, because I'll dirty the soul between. I have to go from confession, roll right into mass, or else I'll sin 8 times and." And
it's very efficient of you.
Terrible.
It makes a lot of sense.
Terrible. Well, I think that used to be the old way of doing it. It would all happen right there.
When I get into masses with as clean of a soul as I can.
Yes, it's like fresh as the driven snow.
Makes sense.
And but anyway, Sal, he said, "Oh, I'll meet you there." I said, "Oh shit!" It's the first time I went to church with a friend of mine just to go to church.
Interesting.
That was really great. But when we came back here, I started putting some stuff on, and Oh Holy Night came on, and I said, "Oh, have you ever heard the Jussi Björling version of this?" And he said he didn't know who that was. I said, Jussi Björling is an opera singer who Luciano Pavarotti looked up to.
Oh.
And I showed it to him. Jussi sings a version, I think he's Swedish, and it's called O Helga Natt. And much like the original French version of Oh Holy Night, I think that the lyrics are so much more. I mean, they're all beautiful, but I think the lyrics are so powerful. Maybe during the flip side tonight, I'll show it to you, because as a vocalist, you're going to love it.
Love to hear it.
It takes you down to it takes me down to the studs, man.
All right, that's good. No, there's a lot of great music this time of year.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
It is my favorite. No doubt about it. So how the hell have you been?
Good. Saturday was fun.
It was.
It's good.
It was fun.
You spent, I thought, I think originally it was supposed to be like, I'm going to pop on for I thought you even said like, I'm just going to pop on for like the supporters of the show. And then you ended up doing a longer show than you do during.
It was like an election night.
It was crazy.
It was election night. So, a little pop in. I think that the final run time was somewhere around, it was under 3 hours, but not by much.
Yeah.
I said, oh shit.
I felt bad. I was like, boy, Frank is but like you said, you had everybody from the party in here. So
almost.
So you got to experience the party on a more personal level.
Yeah. I almost had everybody in here.
Yeah.
I needed to what I needed to have done was leave the room more often and just let people talk into the microphones, even in my seat, and ruin my career. Say something terrible
that would get you banned. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then as I'm having some cider or something like that, I should have done that.
You get an email that says your channel has been nuked.
Yeah, it's all.
Damn it!
What happened? Who was it?
Who did I invite?
I know. But no, it was great to have you. And man, we have a lot to talk about tonight.
Oh yeah, this is a busy weekend, unfortunately.
You know, and I'll personalize this a little bit only because when weekends like the weekends of news that we have this past weekend with Brown University, with what still all the news that's coming out of the UK about that big disaster. Then there's Australia. Then Rob Reiner. As soon as I heard that news reached me as soon as I left my father's Christmas party.
It was Sunday night, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 people found dead at Rob Reiner's house.
Right, that was the original, and I was like, well, is it Rob Reiner and his wife? You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that bizarre, oh no, the actor. You remember that? Oh man, I'm blanking on his name. Him and his wife were discovered days after they had died, and we did a whole thing
Gene
on
Hackman.
Yes. Remember how bizarre that was? And that kind of...
It was bizarre, but you know, the more details we learned about that, the more it just sounded like a really sad situation.
Yes.
And
yes.
It didn't seem anything was crazy at all.
Right.
Once you got more.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was the first thing I thought of when this happened, because they didn't identify who it was. And it's always weird when 2 people die simultaneously. That's why it made me think of Gene Hackman and his wife, because then you're starting to think, well, if it wasn't homicide, because at that time the reports hadn't come out about anything related to that. And then soon after that, I saw a few reporters who had, firsthand knowledge that homicide investigators were on the scene. And you're like, okay, well, now it's obviously something more than just a passing.
The first thing that got to me was that it was arson and that they had died in a house fire.
Okay, that could explain it.
But. And then it just got worse and worse because, it's one thing to, okay, they were stabbed.
That's quite a piece of misinformation considering there was no fire.
Yeah, they were stabbed, and then it was just like throat slit,
yeah,
and then you realize it was the sun.
Yeah.
Nuts. Hey, everybody, before it gets too late in the game here, roll call. Let everybody know where you're from. I love seeing all the different states and the countries and the cities that people are from that you're all representing around there as you're watching live, even if you're watching on demand. Just roll call in the chat room, whatever chat you are in. Just make it lively and fluffy and all that stuff.
Anybody from Antarctica?
There could be.
I hope so.
Anybody stationed in Antarctica?
Please,
Eric Hecker, are you still out there?
Please call in.
Rochester, New York. There's Rochester, New York. Yeah, so
not quite Antarctica.
That's the first one in. It might feel like Antarctica.
It felt like it the other day.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh,
Connecticut.
All right.
Again, there you go. North Carolina, Outer Banks.
Okay.
Well, I'm waiting for them all to start really flowing in here. But
there's got to be a night where you get all 50 states at once. That would be cool.
Okay, I wonder.
Would that be like the podcast equivalent to a straight flush?
I guess.
A night where you've got every single state accounted for.
It's got to be at least a flush.
At least. That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
Huntington Beach, California, Venice Beach, California, Citrus County, Florida, Nashville, Oklahoma City, massive flu shits.
Well, so you got some hard states right now. You got New York, Massachusetts, and California.
I know.
So you got some of the bluest states already.
Communist California, San Diego, Dallas. That's pretty blue for a red state.
Yeah.
Omaha, Realville, Georgia, San Diego, California, the planet Saturn.
Where's Montana?
Alabama. No, there has to be some Montanas out there. Vancouver. Well, if Molly's watching.
That's true.
She could be watching. Fairfax County. Harper's Ferry. Harper's Ferry. Is that Tim Pool? Tim Pool's out there?
He's watching right now?
I don't know.
Settle down, Tim.
Probably not. Let's see here. Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. There's a lot. This is what I like to see.
Good.
So leave some comments, leave a like, and remember, tonight we are going to crown a winner of... We started collecting names last night. All of your super chats, that's quitefranklysuperchat.com. If you go there and you donate $10 or more, you'll be able to interrupt Jay and I's conversation over here, as it will be, it'll come on screen and just yell at everybody. And then everything else, YouTube, Rumble, Gold Pills, it's all going in. It is now a $64 ounce of silver. And what I'm adding into it tonight are signed copies of Chris Ann Hall's Sovereign Duty, which you need to read.
Oh.
This is a incredible when it comes to civic education. I mean, the Bill of Rights, Constitution, especially when it comes down to things like Article 5 that people like talking about, Convention of States, and something for the youngsters in your life. Bedtime stories for budding patriots. Chris Ann Hall.
Wow.
They are all signed. And that's going to be coming your way with a nice hunk of silver that is only appreciating by the millisecond.
Oh man, I'm mad that I didn't get in when I was last year. I was thinking for Christmas, I was like, I'm going to grab some, it was like $32. Now it's like double that.
Yeah, it's 60. It was 63 and change.
I was a day late and a dollar short.
Well, you know what? Just like with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin hit 6,000, we're like, we were too late.
That's true.
Wouldn't you want?
That's true, yeah.
Listen. If Bitcoin, if we could go back to 2015 or 16 when it was $6,000.
That's a good point.
I mean, I would start an OnlyFans for like 3 weeks. I would start OnlyFans for like 3 weeks. Just like what I'm going to make? I don't know, $18,000. Nobody would buy anything, so I would actually compromise myself for no reason. Anyway,
would it be called Quite Frankly?
Yeah. Quite frankly. Well, no, people were saying, Frank, you should get your show on OnlyFans. That's like almost like
a gag.
Yeah, well, just to have the regular show, nothing weird on there.
Just do it straight.
Just
be the straight man.
Hey, we're also syndicated on OnlyFans. Because the whole thought was, with all of the degeneracy that's going on that website, would I actually get kicked off for speech?
Interesting.
Would I get kicked off for
being too pure
for speech?
I like turtles.
There you go. Thank you. Jay Britz likes turtles. Okay.
I like turtles.
So, I thought that this was a pretty little clip. This is from Fox News. Lawmakers in Mexico City broke into a massive brawl after a debate spiraled out of control. Take a look at this.
Whoa.
Pulling hair. Jay, I've been told many times that if women ruled the world, it would be peaceful and blah, blah, blah. And
are you sure this isn't the U.S. Senate? I think I see Lindsey Graham in there.
I wish it was.
I know, I do too, actually.
Because
then they'd actually be doing something.
There would be, I would get
a pulse in that room.
Man, I would have so much more satisfaction.
I would too.
If people were landing blows, because nothing happens otherwise.
I know.
And you only are left with some political form of blue balls, and I would rather see I want to see fists fly.
I know.
So
you think you're going to see them when because apparently the Clintons are now I think they postponed their appearance to mid-January, but apparently they're going to hold them in contempt. That's what somebody said if they don't show up. What do you think? Do you think they're actually going to hold them in contempt? And
yeah, but everybody's been held in. I mean, you remember Eric Holder was held in contempt. I mean, that doesn't mean that people are. I don't.
No, but when you look at somebody like Peter Navarro or Steve Bannon, who actually had to go to prison for it, you're wondering if now, okay, you sort of crossed the Rubicon. You sort of you drew the line in the sand. Okay, well, we're gonna put Bill and Hillary in jail for contempt. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it. I'm just curious what you thought.
I'd like to see it, but I'd like them to be in jail for the reason why they're probing, It's
yeah, I know.
It's just when we start talking about process crimes and things like that was the whole thing that I couldn't stand the most about the whole Russia situation, is that they were sending people away for crimes and violations that popped up along the general pursuit of something bigger.
Yeah.
Like Michael Flynn, he went to what was he away for, like 2 weeks for some process. Is essentially like they were charging people with parking tickets as they're trying to investigate international espionage, and it's just not nonsense.
I know.
So I don't know. Contempt? Well, I guess we'll see. That you said that's January?
I think they pushed it back to mid-January. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Something to look forward to after the holidays.
Here's a little something that I think everybody, the 5,000 Howard Stern audience members out there, they should be very happy to hear that. That's it. That he signed a new 3-year deal with SiriusXM. So he is coming back, and the 5,000 people who still listen must be rejoicing.
I mean, I have not seen such a fall from grace, like total irrelevance. I mean, Howard Stern, like the guy who sort of I don't know, created the model, and it just became just so old and irrelevant out of nowhere. Just amazing to me. I didn't even know he was still on anything, to be perfectly honest. So
yeah, well,
whatever.
Yeah, I know. Bees. Here, this one grossed me out. This one really upset me. And this was sent to me by somebody in the audience. And it has to do with those damn lantern flies that I'm telling you about.
Your favorite.
Yeah, listen to this. Bees are turning the sticky sweet secretions of spotted lanternflies into honey, and some people love the smoky smelling stuff.
Oh.
I am so disgusted
But
that these things, which otherwise, the first time I saw one, I went, wow, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
And then when you see them in first of all, there's something about them where they fall from the sky like leaves.
Yeah.
They are very clumsy, clanky kind of things. And all of a sudden you see one and you realize they're like, you're surrounded by them. And when there's so many, you're just like, I want to kill every last, I want to blow. I don't even want a fly swatter. I want a blowtorch. I want a flamethrower. I want napalm.
Yeah. They didn't seem as bad last year, but 2 summers ago, they were everywhere. I had my balcony door open and they were in my kitchen all the time. So yeah, they were the battle. But last year they didn't seem as bad. When I went over to visit your house, I was like a graveyard out here.
Oh, I know. Well, because I've trained Aurora.
I know.
I've trained Aurora.
I'm like,
Aurora, and when she takes the fly swatter and she has this face on her, like, and she keeps. I was like, yes. And I say it's almost like that scene from Starship Troopers. When the teacher brings the roaches outside, and the Starship Troopers is. We have got to do a film club watch party for Starship Troopers.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
It is so good. It's not only because you're getting just really classic, campy, like action, whatever. But the fact that they bring in this aspect of old school military propaganda, and I love those little things. Do you want to know more?
Right.
And then when I like that one cutaway when the school teacher brings all the kids outside and empties out a box of roaches and has all the kids stomping on them, and she's just like maniacally laughing. I think it's just so well done. As far as bringing all of the kinds of propagandistic things.
What year was that movie? That was
I think it was like 96,
I was going to say it
97.
had to be in late 90s. Wow.
It's good.
Blast from the past. Okay.
I don't have to do that. We have to watch that. We have to watch Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
I have so many other things written down. Drive. That's a sleeper film, man. That's got a cult following. I think more people who give that a chance, they're gonna say, "Oh shit, this is good."
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Well, listen, you got to watch this stuff with us.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it mostly on Friday and Saturday nights. Select Saturday night. It's not like everyone,
right?
But select like this Friday night at 8:30, we're going to do another members only watch party of It's a Wonderful Life, and but I think that you would love this one. There's quite a few.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So there's the lanternfly honey. I hope that you can source the origin. That's that. So I don't know where you want to get started with all the things going on around the world. They have a common thread running through so much of it, and it is, of course, what we have come to expect with the narrative control of everything. How clinical everything is in that respect. It's awful. It really is. I mean, this Brown University killer that is obviously being covered least out of everything else is on the run right now. They thought they had the person on the run. The police are obviously covering up for as long as they can the fact that they were shouting Allahu Akbar as they were killing people. And I don't know. I know it's the holidays and they try to ruin all of our good sacred moments that we have with each other. But it's just crazy how cyclical the whole jihad thing is here too, which is not completely like, oh, well, how could this ever happen when you consider the path that we are so committed to being on with importing so much of that world into a place where they don't belong.
Sure.
So obviously you must be considering that shit. There's so many ways to look at this.
Yeah, I mean,
traps.
I think one of the things I first thought was, as soon as it came out who she was, who one of the, so I think I don't have the updated numbers, but I think 2 confirmed dead and multiple injuries, right? At this point, I think.
2 dead, 9 others injured.
So, but one of the two was sort of like, so you're talking about the most, it's Brown University. I got a couple of texts, people asking me, Brown University is pretty liberal, right? And I'm like, yeah. But when you realize that one of the females that was killed was sort of like the head conservative Christian at that school, then I'm starting to think, well, and the media doesn't want to talk about it being any kind of a targeted attack, but what would be the odds that in a university full of liberals, you happen to shoot the one conservative? So I don't know. That was actually the angle that I thought, because no one's actually, and I see what you're saying, no one's confirmed, and nor would they want to confirm if what was said when the person burst in the room and started shooting, was anything that, that had anything to do with the Muslim religion. Certainly wouldn't want to confirm that. But also I think it's interesting statistically that girl would be one, it could be a statistical anomaly, but it's also interesting. So, you also have to take that angle.
Well, listen to this. This is a clip of the police out there really dragging their feet. I don't know why. It's like you buy yourself a couple of days to admit what everybody is testifying for. And there's a reason why we got to take this with this order, because from here we're going to go to Europe and then Australia and here.
Shooter yelled something right before his shot came in. Could you tell us what that was?
Yeah, it's part of the investigation, John, and we'll, yeah.
Now, the only reason I asked that, though, is, for instance, like with the Unabomber, his brother recognized the writing. So it's possible a friend or family member might recognize if the person said something that was significant.
Correct.
That's why you don't, other than the 9mm, is there anything else inside that auditorium that you could tell us?
No, that's correct. And listen, like I said earlier, investigations will bring us to evidence that we need to collect in order to be able to prosecute. With that being said, we're going to continue to collect evidence, and if it leads us to something to that nature, that's going to be extremely helpful for us to identify.
The whole thing is that, if somebody screams something out in public, and I mean, why is that evidence that you can't?
Right. I know.
Is that like lifting a fingerprint? Something that was screamed in public?
The other thing about this, Frank, is that what was weird to me is that normally these things end with, the gunman either turning the gun on themselves or continue, especially if they had more ammo, continuing to fire until it's over. So that's what made me think that it could have been something different. I don't know. Again, that's just my gut. I mean, obviously we don't know anything, but it is also strange that on a modern day campus with presumably cameras everywhere, you still now several days later have absolutely no idea who this is, which also makes me wonder if to some degree there's a connection here with something else that they are not interested in the public understanding. So, well,
listen, I guess it just makes sense to move on to the next thing then, because it's all going to connect.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were talking about the world wars. Maybe maybe a few weeks, sometime in November, we were talking about it. Maybe we were talking about the world wars being really like a death blow to European culture, the way it was, World War I, World War II, what it left us with. And all these years later,
Howard Stern can suck my sticky sweet secretion. Oliver Cocken.
Okay.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. We were saying whatever the hell was left. I mean, we were saying that perhaps this wasn't the victory that we always thought it was, especially now that we have 80 years of perspective. How are we living right now? What has been preserved? What has been lost? What were we fighting for that we kept? And they're saying whatever. Listen to this. This right here is the Chief of Defense Staff over in the UK. This is from Sky News. Said that UK's sons and daughters may need to be ready to fight following a separate speech from the head of MI6, who also warned of Russia's growing threat.
Oh my God.
I mean, so I want to throw this out there. It's the two minute video, but watch a little bit.
The head of the UK's Armed Forces, Air Chief Marshal Sir Richard Knighton, has just delivered an extraordinary intervention in this room about the scale of the threat posed by Russia and the fact that the UK's sons and daughters may need to be ready to fight.
Perhaps the most obvious impact on all of us will be the cost of building this resilience. Sons and daughters, colleagues, veterans will all have a part to play. To build, to serve, and if necessary, to fight.
No. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to say, I saw a video again today. I mean, this is just like every day. First of all, the grooming, the grooming gang stuff that's going on in the UK, it is so bad. Even the recent statistics are so incredibly bad. I saw another one here too. There was this guy, this woman that was forced to call her husband to come back home from work to confront this Pakistani migrant who was pleasuring himself while their children were playing in their backyard. And the husband, like so many other examples, is now reportedly being investigated for assaulting the man who should have gotten the life kicked out of him. So you think and to think that this government or any government like it, and they're all been bit by this fucking venom. The venom like this is surging through the circulatory system of every Western country right now to varying degrees. To think that these governments, that these people would even suggest that we have a duty to go out there and fight anyone else as if the enemy is outside.
I'm so glad that that's your takeaway, because that is exactly my takeaway. How dare that whatever decorated, old guy who's, probably also searching for white rage like, General Milley is. What are you fighting for? A country that will arrest you in the middle of the night for posting something on Facebook? Is that what you're defending? What are you defending? I mean, so that's step number one. If I'm a male of fighting age in England, I mean, that's not what I'm thinking. This isn't the country why would I want to defend this? Let them take it. It can't get any worse than this. And that's also assuming that, Russia just wants to, it's the same old story. If you don't stop them over there, they're going to come over here, right? And that was George Bush's line. That's everybody's line, because I think we're all stupid, right? And you hear news anchors over and over again say things like, well, if the United States, if Donald Trump just walks away from this war, Russia's going to win. As if it's a board game. As if in any war, there's really like an actual winner or loser, as like we were just talking about in World War I, World War II. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you just import all your favorite scientists from X, Y, and Z Reich and bring them over to just do your bidding? Like, did you really win? Did you really lose? So I just think that's fascinating on multiple levels. But to think that you could go and you could be prosecuted so they take away your guns. And so this guy comes home, and then just physically with his fists beats the shit out of this guy, and now he's going to be prosecuted. Well, and then you're going to say, oh, and by the way, we're going to have to take your son or daughter to go fight, in some war in the defense of what? I mean, it is mind-boggling that the population will put up with this much longer.
Well, I'm sure you heard of this. Then this was in the United States. There was a black man. His name was Gary Edwards. Was recently in the United States, in Portland, Oregon, acquitted of assault after a jury learned that the white victim, his name was Gregory Howard Jr., called him an N-word, called him a racial slur after he was stabbed. Do you understand?
The temporal nature matters there.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
A white guy was stabbed by a black man. He called the black man a slur after he was stabbed with a knife. And because he said this word, the black man was acquitted.
And where was this again?
This was Portland, Oregon.
Thank you.
I mean, so you say
might as well be the UK.
I'm gonna go. There is some greater enemy outside of these borders. There's some greater enemy out there. This is going. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just it's we are circling the drain so quick.
And we talked about this, and I said this last time, that if one thing that Donald Trump can do is shut down the borders and dismantle the Department of Education, and like John F. Kennedy wanted to do with the CIA, smash it to 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the wind, because that is where the mind virus sort of percolates, in the educational system, and then you end up with a jury. You said that was a jury acquittal, so you couldn't even find one sane person on a jury in Portland, Oregon. So
just to call it hung,
right? So between the institutions of higher education, which they are not, and the media, I don't know which is worse, but I both of them, if Donald Trump accomplishes nothing else in the next 3 years, to try and dismantle those two behemoths would be a huge victory, because we're not going to make any headway without, you can sign all the friggin' executive orders you want. Congress is absolutely useless. They are the most useless people on the planet. They don't care. They're waiting him out. Everybody knows it. The Republican Party are a bunch of cowards. They love being the bottom. They don't want any semblance of power or control, because then that means responsibility, God forbid. So they're just waiting him out. So if Donald Trump understands that, the only thing that he can do, hopefully, is set us up for some kind of success in the future. And the only way to do that is to somehow right the ship when it comes to education and the media. I don't have the plan of how to do that necessarily, but I identify those two as the biggest purveyors of this mind virus that could cause a 12-person jury to be able to acquit somebody because they said a naughty word versus an actual act of violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. That's why they are two separate things.
I know.
It's incredible.
Listen, Jay, going back to just the UK and this ridiculously stupid man in his costume over here.
Yeah.
In his costume.
Halloween, must be Halloween in the UK.
What they've been saying here is essentially that whatever is going back to our World War I, World War II conversation from last month. What they're saying here is that whatever is left of a dwindling population of native European men needs to be prepared to fight an insane war with a thermonuclear power. And at the same time,
so laughable.
At the same time, Jay, they're publishing this shit every day now. This is from The Guardian. The facts are stark. Europe must open the door to migrants or face its own extinction. Now, the article, I read the article. It's exactly what you would think. There are people who are tweeting it out. They're like this absolute retard over here. Narinder Kaur says, without immigration, there will be within a number of generations no Europe and no United Kingdom. Today's racist obsessions will look incomprehensible to our elderly. Desperate for young people to look after them, we'll be fighting to attract people from overseas. Racist obsessions, that is why we're dying.
There'll be no UK. There's no UK anymore, you moron.
See, that's the whole thing here, that we're getting into. I read that. And I read the article, but when I saw the person tweeting that out, I said, "Barbara Lerner, is that you?" Have you ever seen that one clip of Barbara Lerner, Barbara Lerner Specter, whatever her name is? She's a very big Zionist type, and she went on the record many years ago talking about how Europe, to save Europe, it needed to be changed. To save Europe, essentially, it needed to be destroyed.
Well, this is much like the left here. To save democracy, we must destroy democracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she was saying that the monolithic ethnic cultures of Europe, which are ancient and enduring and truly diverse,
Actual diversity.
Europe was one of the most diverse continents anywhere, and she's out there talking about how there's a change that needs to be made. And that Jewish people are going to be front and center in making that change, and they're going to get a lot of shit for it. I mean, she's out there. She's very, as a matter of fact.
I think I remember hearing this.
It's one of the most infuriating, passive-aggressive, evil things you can ever hear.
Yeah.
Just because somebody's saying, once again, that to save something, it needs to be absolutely destroyed. And that's, of course, what's being said now here, too, because they're totally abandoning all at once the overpopulation thing.
Remember when that was the thing?
That was whenever that was the thing 3 years ago. Overpopulation is obviously not happening, because now it's clear that to say the world is overpopulated would be to say that there are too many brown people.
Right.
And that's what I was saying before. And they can't have that.
Right.
So the world is not overpopulated. We're having a crisis in Europe and in the United States. We're not having kids for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Bill Gates is like, I don't know.
Maybe it's just our privilege. Maybe it's just white privilege.
It could be
and, feminism and, sterilization, mass sterilization, and all types of shit that were done to us that people said was not being done. But this is bringing us to the bigger question here about why things are changing and who's being brought in. Because now we go to Bondi Beach in Australia. And aside from the fact that, they shot the guy who actually helped disarm the supposed shooter.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Of course, all they're promising, of course, is renewed efforts to disarm people and combat anti-Semitism.
I don't even know how that's possible anymore in Australia.
I don't know, but I have a lot to say about this, and some of it has to do with last night's show. And I have to imagine that you're going to be able to contribute nicely to this here too.
Okay.
But when I look at this, because I didn't have time to talk about it yesterday, there are so many agendas that are at play here that there's a media, of course, that is going to have to fill the void in some way. Anything that doesn't make the state's ability to leave us vulnerable and dying out quickly, it's going to be made to go away. Rob Reiner, for an example, as horrific as that was, that story will lead to the honoring of his great on-screen legacy and, probably an inspirational talk about mental health crisis here and all that. But there's no gun. There's no white supremacist that you could blame. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be handled very reverently.
Absolutely.
And it's going to go away. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this is just how sick and clinical these situations are. Now, the messaging with Australia and everywhere else, now that we're getting the whole Islamic threat thing again, as that's a cyclical thing as well, let's be honest. Islam should never have been imported or allowed into the first world. At least not anywhere near the levels that they have been doing this, or the reason under which programs and the guise that this has been done so quickly and irresponsibly. Islam is no doubt a tool in the tool shed. It provides a limitless number of opportunities for false flags, entrapment as well, but it's also a natural agent of chaos because the inevitable culture clash is obvious.
Right.
So there are so many ways that this is just wrong. But that's where the rubber meets the road for me, and I think a lot of other people there too. The people who planned all of this transplanting of these types of people from the Middle East and from Africa, they understand that there was going to be a deadly trade-off. There's going to be a lot going on there. All types of assault, all types of conflict there. There's no assimilation, no chance of assimilation. And they want Europe replaced. We brought up Kalergi last night, the Kalergi plan or Kalergi plan. That's what Leo had said. But we've put Barbara Lerner, like I said, in the spotlight over the years, saying that to change, that Europe had to change, and Jews in particular would be instrumental in that change, and that they would be hated for that multicultural destiny, that Jews would be hated for that. So number one, the statement that the only way to save something is to destroy something is real crazy psychological work. Number two, but it always makes you wonder, why would you advocate for something that would certainly get Jewish people killed along the way? If you are someone like a Barbara Lerner or any of these NGOs that have rich Jewish billionaires and everybody, Zionist types, that they're helping facilitate these migrant crises that are certainly, among other things, going to get Jews killed.
Right.
Why would you do that? And the most obvious answer to me is that noticing who is allowed to claim victimhood during this inevitable bloodbath is very powerful and very unsettling thing, because sacrifice is a worthy trade-off for the potent political power that is derived from victimhood.
Sure.
Very, very. And so, we were talking about cracking a few eggs to make a few omelets.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly Jewish political interests. Everyday Jews are horrifically sacrificed.
Collateral damage.
I mean, yeah,
that's what it's considered.
Seriously, we were just talking about it last night with the Sabbateans that wear the mask of Orthodox Judaism and have no problem getting Jews killed because they're really just something. It's something else. And I mean, we said it last night. They're fine with that, and you can't make that omelet without cracking a few eggs. But here's the rub: Muslims, though they are the chosen weapon, they are even protected from all of these systems. There is while these tragedies are actually playing out, you have all these efforts out there to go and protect people from Islamophobia and all this other, and try. Let's not categorize people or all that stuff, but because their presence is necessary for completing the transformation of the continent,
without a doubt.
So you can't really get rid of them. And but this brings me to what has always been the key to my understanding of the situation. The only ones who are never, ever, under any circumstances allowed to voice their grief are the largely white Christian Europeans who have had their culture slowly erased, the money stolen, their religions perverted, their boys sent off to needless wars. That sentiment is unacceptably racist. Mm-hmm. It is ultra white right wing.
Right.
So the baseline is that when you take all these pieces, the baseline is simple. Europe is marked for destruction. That's the omelet that needs to be made at all costs. Now, because why isn't someone advocating for what would help save Europe, the United States, and keep Jews safe?
Right.
Why is the EU, instead of removing tens and millions of incompatible people from Africa and in the Middle East, people that they brought in from war zones that they started, from cities and from countries that they wrecked, why is the EU instead mandating more migrants be brought in while cracking down even harder on free speech and gun ownership?
Well, didn't the Prime Minister of Australia already come out and say that we know this is a right-wing problem? I believe he said that right after this. So I mean, that was again, comically stupid, completely detached from reality, but ultimately I believe, that's the goal of these situations. Whether they are truly organic scenarios that unfold and then they are weaponized for political gain, or they are false flags that are planned / allowed to happen to be used for political gain, the outcome is exactly the same, right? We get where we get, we blame who we blame, everything's all set. It's nice and neat and tidy. Now, personally for me, all I care about and all I ever side with are the human beings, the unwitting pawns in these games, whether they be, I don't care what religion, I don't care. If you are a peaceful human being, you don't deserve this, right? If you just want to live your life and try to make the best of what you've got, you don't deserve any of this. But I would say that it is these people who will be willing to sacrifice their own, whether it be Jew or anybody. If you want to use the word anti-Semitism, wouldn't that be sort of the definition of that? I mean, to me, so I just find it remarkable. And I also find it remarkable how quickly the narrative is just always set in stone, and have we learned nothing from all of this time? This is why we go back in history, and why when people say, oh, that happened so long ago, what difference does it make? Every time something unfolds that has questions around it, this is why it matters. Because if we never get the truth about anything, go back to the Kennedy assassination, go back to the sinking of the Lusitania, go back to whatever you want. If we don't understand the facts surrounding any given scenario, false flag and all, you can talk about the USS Liberty, you can talk about the Gulf of Tonkin, you can talk about 9/11, you can talk about anything. The further we get away from that time period and we don't have truth, the more we should and righteously question what is being thrown in our faces, whether it makes sense or not. Like you said, you've got a protected class, but they're also somehow to blame. And it's very hard to wrap your mind around it. And all the politicians ever say is, well, we just need to take more of your rights. That's really the only solution. I'm sorry.
I know.
That's however we get there is it's like after 9/11. What was the Patriot Act like? Was it like 20,000 pages or something like that? That was like already.
It was ready to go.
Hey, ready to go! Look at that. We got this little thing here. It's going to take away all your rights.
We wrote 20,000 pages worth of legislature in 7 days.
Yeah, a body that can't quite literally get out of its own way somehow managed to get this all together. Yeah, okay.
I think. Listen, it comes down to for just very bare bones analysis for me. That's what it comes down to. We are in we're in an Islamic terror cycle again. We've been through this many times. It happens every once in a while.
It was gone for a while.
I know,
and it's back.
I know, and the only grief that is allowed to be stated, this is an anti-Semitic. I had somebody at my father's Christmas party come up to me. I've known them for a long time, and they said, "Yeah, well, we're just." It was like one of those passing comments about, how's everything been, the blah, 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 then more generalized comments about the world or something. So, yeah, well, just it's like World War II all over again. I'm like, well, and I said, it didn't even register what they were getting at the moment. Yeah. And I said, well, I think that we've been in World War III for quite a long time now. It's just, there's not a lot of guns. It's not very kinetic just yet. And they're like, no, I mean, like, with the Jews.
Oh.
And I said, oh, well, there is that aspect.
How do I get out of this? Get me out of this.
Please,
somebody text me.
Somebody. Just help. Because what am I going to say? Everything I just said right now?
I know, right. Well, just sit down and listen.
There's no time to talk about this. Like, because I guess the one thing I would say is, hey, what do you think about open borders and immigration and all that stuff? Like, you think it's time to... If we're going to talk about anti-Semitism, that's the only kind of victimization that we are allowed to talk about. How do we combat anti-Semitism? How do we make Jews feel safe, and also limit the weapons that people? How about we just get rid of the most volatile groups of people who do not assimilate in Western society? Or is that just like no? There's nobody who's willing, no real contingent who are willing to get behind that kind of a motive. That they all have to go.
And what does that phrase?
They don't.
And frankly, what does that phrase even mean? I mean, so I'm seeing different organizations, Jewish organizations, that are now starting to redefine anti-Semitism of anything that criticizes the state of Israel, which is fascinating. So if you say anti-Semitism is on the rise, well, if you define anti-Semitism as criticizing the state of Israel, yeah, sure is. And then I would say, well, I'm not. So what you're saying is there's a government on this planet that is somehow off limits when it comes to corruption or criticism? Is that really what you're saying? Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to fall into that camp then, because I don't trust anybody. And if you want to, I mean, if you saw right after this whole Bondi Beach thing, who stuck his big, fat, obnoxious nose right in the middle of it? Benjamin Netanyahu, criticizing Australia. Australia, who, I mean, again, when you really look at the whole picture, I mean, okay, maybe it is what it is, but it's weird. Australia was set to recognize a Palestinian state. It's a weird place for a bunch of Muslims to kill a bunch of Jews. Like, that's a weird place for it. They were on board with this. They were on board with the Palestinian state, which is what Benjamin Netanyahu was criticizing them for just hours after this massacre. Interesting. He said, I warned you in last year or whatever, earlier this year, that if and like, so this guy's now tisking other countries. I despise him on multiple levels. I think he is partly responsible for all this. And again, you shouldn't say a word until you tell us what happened on October 7th. Because remember, again, that's another one of those 9/11 type events. We still don't know what happened there. So you're telling me that it's not above it's not beyond a government's, in their toolbox to somehow stoke more sympathy for their people via false flag events. Governments have been doing that constantly throughout history. The US government has done it. Why is somehow the Israeli government absolutely and completely... Nope, we can't even have this conversation. In fact, I was even watching randomly, had on the Charlie Kirk Show, which is no longer the Charlie Kirk Show, by the way, just as an aside. And the two guys that were hosting, within, it must have been Monday because it was like 24 hours after all of this. And they were like poking fun at anybody that didn't see this as exactly what it was, which was just anti-Semitism. How could Israel have any involvement? Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu comes out talking about things. And by the way, there was a gentleman, I don't know if you saw this, a very famous now, I think, selfie from that Bondi Beach shooting, a guy who was quite literally bloody. I'll get you his name right here. I thought this was incredible because it was the first picture I saw. His name is Arsen Ostrovsky. I saw this picture posted and I was like, whoa, he is a international human rights lawyer and pro-Israel advocate. Just saying. And he took a selfie, bloody selfie, because apparently he had been hit by a ricochet or something and he's a bald guy and it hit his head and whatever. He's bleeding, right? But he took the time to take a selfie. That was weird enough because to me that doesn't compute. And he becomes, you know how in a tragedy there's always like a person that becomes like the voice, like the victim voice.
Yeah.
I think what's his name? Who's that little who's the kid that became like the de facto Democrat leader who was
the stick insect.
Yeah, exactly, right? He became the de facto David Hogg.
Yeah, Hogg.
Yeah. This guy seemed to be like Sky News interviewed him and News 9 interviewed him, a bunch of people interviewed him. But it also turns out he was at October 7th. Which is striking that he would be at 2 massacres on 2 separate continents. And he happens to be a Jewish pro-Israel advocate, human rights attorney. So I'm like, I wonder if he's going to be the face of the new, speech laws that we need now in Australia, because Benjamin Netanyahu told us that we don't have enough to protect, to protect the Jews in Australia. And we don't have enough gun laws. And, it's just... I'm just throwing out things that don't make sense to me, and I really think that it's beyond me that Benjamin Netanyahu has the moral high ground to criticize anybody when he still hasn't explained what happened on October 7th.
I also want to just throw this into consideration as well, and maybe just to reiterate the reasons for all of my, the way that I'm analyzing things, because my gut instinct, or where I tend to prioritize things, is I want people to stop dying.
Absolutely.
I don't want everyday Jewish friends and family of ours, or wherever they live, whatever's going on, especially in Western civilization, to feel hunted, or to be told that they're being hunted,
exactly.
or to die in one event or another, whether it's totally legitimate or part of an operation. The whole point here is that we keep getting this Hegelian dialectic set up for us, where the prescribed method of fixing things is to say goodbye to Europe as it was,
right?
To say goodbye to free speech as it was, to say goodbye at the right to defend your life and your honor and your liberty, your property as it was, to say goodbye to indifference. It's just, that is what's been set up for us, and all along the way, it's to be able to keep people safe of protected classes, when it's really easy to keep people safe of protected classes. Why are you also the greatest advocate of bringing in tens of millions of people who would make everybody unsafe?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in the ways that you're doing it, where first you're destroying their home countries, and then you're bringing them in by the millions where there's no way to vet them, and then you let them just hang around on welfare for even 2 to 5 years, when they quadruple in size because they're the only ones having babies, and now they have all the political protection afforded to them, even more so than native-born citizens. And I mean, you are making the world more unsafe every day, and then you're limiting who can complain about it. And largely the most vociferous voices out there are largely representing what they say are Jewish interests,
right?
And perhaps out of, I don't know, tribal loyalty, a lot of Jews will go along with that, and maybe the cognitive dissonance about how, oh wait, this is actually making me, this is dangerous. Where the hell is the pushback? Just like but then again, we've been waiting for LGBT pushed back for a long time. People were like, hey, what are you doing lumping us in with drag queens and children and everything else? We've been waiting for larger amounts of pushback from Black Americans. And, and it's there. It's happening.
It's not enough.
But it's not enough. It's got to be Jewish people have got to wake the fuck up fast because they're getting set up for slaughter.
Frank, I'm so glad you said that, because that's exactly where I'm coming from. I am actually the one by asking questions, trying to protect people, because I don't think people understand. When you say, you said this multiple times on the show, and I think it's a good point. If you want to try, where do you start with somebody to try to convince them that basically all governments are bad? You start with showing them the documented evidence where governments experimented on their own people, including the United States government. So it is not beyond the realm of possibility to think that a government would do something in order to create a political, financial, geopolitical, leverage point for their country. It is not beyond the realm of possibility to think that a country would look at their citizens as expendable or acceptable collateral damage in the greater war, right? That is not beyond the realm of possibility. And so I think we have to accept the fact that two things can be true at once. It was Aristotle who said the mark of an educated mind is to be able to entertain a thought in your mind without accepting it. And I think it was Scott Fitzgerald who said to be able to entertain contradicting thoughts in your mind and still function. And I think absolutely there is Islamic terrorism for sure, but it can also be true that can be leveraged and used in order to get political gain by a specific state. So I just want to find an actual solution to the problem. And I do not believe with anything, not even the slightest bit of me when I look at Benjamin Netanyahu, think that he actually wants peace or to protect his people. He's protecting his own ass, and he's a globalist, so he doesn't really care about, if he was so interested in protecting the Jewish people and the state of Israel, he wouldn't have turned his entire country into a human pincushion for Pfizer. Okay? I'll say it again. No one holds him responsible for anything. He's a disgusting creature, and he seems to slither out of the woodwork every time something bad happens in the world, blames it on everybody else for not protecting the Jews enough. And it's ridiculous. And I am with you. I'm just trying to stop innocent people of whatever religion, whatever race, who just want to live their lives. I want to protect them by asking the questions. Could it be the fact that a state is responsible? I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying we have to ask the questions because, again, as I said, we've never been told the truth about virtually any major event that results in either a major conflict or a demonstrable stripping of human rights, meaning like our own rights. And I just think we have to start asking those hard questions. And it's really uncomfortable, but I'm not just going to accept a narrative like this, especially over a weekend where a whole bunch of strange, seemingly disparate events,
And it's affecting like again, there's a number of victims here.
Absolutely.
But there's only a few who have an ability and a platform to voice their grievances.
Right.
If it were largely young Jewish girls who were being for many years groomed by Pakistanis in the United Kingdom,
mm-hmm.
and the police didn't do anything because they didn't want to seem racist. What kind of? There's no way in hell that would happen.
No.
So there's something else going on there. There's something else going on there, and that's why I'm saying. Aside from the fact that people need to realize that they are being screwed with and they're being set up for disaster.
Yes.
They're being set up, and there are people who are using your religious identity, your ethnic identity, all that other stuff as a human shield for accountability.
Yep.
They're using it as an accountability shield. Outside of that, as I said before, there is a responsibility for ethnic Europeans to recover their voice quicker than ever, because all the news this week about how sons and daughters are going to have to go and fight the Russians. The Russians.
It's like a bad 80s movie.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It is seriously like they're racing. We've got to erase the last of the Europeans now.
Yeah. Well, because people are waking up and you're seeing this, election after election. It's like, there's always the right wing is taking over. No. Sanity has returned to some countries, and people are just sick of being told that they're, because of the color of their skin or because of their ethnicity, that they're somehow less than, privileged, lower class, whatever. People are just sick of it. So yeah, I think this is their last gasp attempt to try and say, listen, because if we don't do this now, we know what's going to happen. I mean, there are some people standing up in England. You're seeing, marches. Now, whether it's too late or not, because this has been creeping for a long... I mean, again, you've got people... I don't think people realize what's going on in England. I mean, they're beating down people's doors at 2 a.m. I saw a video of a woman being like, what are you doing here? And the officer actually said, well, you posted something on Facebook. I was like, I can't... This is like a bad SNL skit, and it's reality in the UK. So you're going to tell me I'm going to go fight the Russians for this?
Well, again, and get out of here. You talk about comparing and contrasting. When you look how dutiful everybody that shows up at the front door of an old British man to talk to him about the way that he has in some way expressed a dissenting opinion on how Brussels is mandating everybody to take another 500,000 Africans each or something like that. They usually have the women there up front, and they love being so clinical about the way that they are just, putting the screws to this guy. You're on the job. But when there is a life and death situation, when there's somebody that shows up swinging a machete or a gun or something like that, you see the footage of some of these cowering police officers in Australia hiding, especially the lady cops that were just literally frozen in fear, hiding behind things. They're like, one would not let go of the police vans. The other was trying to pull her toward the action. I mean, the law enforcement in the West is so geared up and enthusiastic about putting the screws to people that should be the priority. And again, they're nuts.
I bet that cop had no problem arresting people for not wearing a mask on a beach during COVID.
No, exactly. And here, look, I'm going to play this for you.
So pathetic.
Here, I'm sure you saw this girl. This woman is named Sarah Stalker. She is a state representative of the state of Kentucky. Ugh. And she spent a little time talking that she does not feel good about being white every day, and she claims that they have privilege and that children should be taught to feel bad about their skin color. Okay,
go to hell.
This is and look at that face. She's got her barber learn her face on.
Yeah,
this is the face. I have to just listen to this maniac.
I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day. For a lot of reasons.
Good.
Because it's a point of privilege.
Oh, yeah?
That I get to move through the world in a way that so many of my other colleagues and friends and family members in the community don't get the privilege.
Explain that.
Really? Okay,
explain that.
You know what I would love? You know what I would love? You know what I would really... I would love for her to move through any part of Africa and Asia by herself. I want her to go... I really would love to have a drone that follows her around moving through Africa. Let's send Smug Face McGee over here backpacking through Asia. We'll see if she has enough privilege to come back with her own head. I would really love to see this. And she has all the psychopath traits you can think of.
Oh, yeah.
There's no sign of empathy. She's got those fucking shark eyes.
Yeah.
No remorse, not even a superficial kind of charm to this creature. Manipulative, smug twat.
And they're not her words either. They're just the talking points. They're not even her word. You can tell she doesn't have an actual thought in her skull.
No.
Not
to do. And I'm just a female, but just a woman, a white woman.
Yeah, we get it.
If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of an even greater privilege.
Even greater privilege. Who is she talking to?
I'm going fucking nuts, man. I'm going to go fucking nuts.
What imagine knowing that thing. What a miserable human being.
Being married to that thing. Somebody did.
God, I hope not.
Somebody married
I
that
hope
thing.
He's cheating on her. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, how do you
You'd
not
have to be?
How do you not have something on the side?
Woo. Sorry. That's a rough one. People like that. Yeah. I mean, that is the mind virus. If you want an example of what patient zero, an infected person looks like, that's her.
Well, Jay, and I started talking about this earlier on in the show, and I never got around to it, and maybe it was for this reason. From a professional standpoint, this time of year, I mean, it is December 16th. I would much rather be doing something very light, very easygoing.
I know.
Kind of seasonal. And I have some stuff planned.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be on not only next week, but the week after.
I think that's probably why it's okay to do this right now, because it's not like we're blowing the whole holiday load here and being like, oh, there's nothing else we can talk about. No, we got time to be happy and to be joyful and to talk, you know, science and health and nutrition and keep everybody in the fight. But you know, coming out of this weekend, I was, you know, I over the week, I mean, we had Saturday. Well, there was a Thursday night that I wasn't able to go live from Lyndhurst Mansion, but I was able to take some footage. I put it up on members only. I put some other stuff up publicly. Then there was Friday. We did a little bit of a stream there. On Saturday, we streamed from the Christmas party here, tried to bring some Christmas cheer and, you know, some friends and family, a mix of that. Sunday, I did 2 members only streams, one from home, one from my father's party. And by the time I get home Sunday, you know, I'm taking pictures of Christmas trees and I'm getting ready to put them up on Instagram and YouTube just to keep staying that vibe. And everybody's talking about a man and a woman getting their throat slit by their son all of a sudden, and then it gets compiled by all the stuff from Australia and Brown and the worsening conditions overseas. And I say to myself, from a professional standpoint, it's not about me, but you know, you feel the tug to stay relevant, but at the other hand, it's almost it gets so charged up sometimes for people, especially in this space, that if you're not talking about the carnage for a little bit, you're talking about some distraction, right?
You know, and I hate that feeling.
I know.
I don't let it influence too much of my decision making during a broadcast week. Like, I'm not going to cancel guests because, you know, if they have to talk about another shooting. Fuck that.
No.
But at the same time, I have to imagine that there are people out there who make certain alterations to maybe even just their attitude because of news that hits them constantly. Maybe they're not doing a show like I do, but this stuff is really mind altering, and we see it more and more.
I think people want to hear when they have a voice that they tune into frequently, they do want to hear what that person thinks about a very, you know, a significant event. So I don't think it's a bad idea to cover it, but it is probably a bad idea to obsess over it and completely take yourself out of the holidays. Because if you think about it, and I was thinking about this the other day, it's interesting to me that this, I don't know that I know this for a fact because I haven't looked it up, but maybe the audience can help us out with this too. But I feel like the last couple of years, the last 5 years, let's just say from 2020 to now, I feel like this time of year has been especially volatile. And one has to wonder if that's actually intentional. I believe there were a couple of like Christmas celebrations and maybe in Europe that were, you know, cars were driven through the celebrations. And I think that even happened here somewhere in the US. And you have to wonder, because this is a time of year where usually people are unplugging from all of the BS, the politics and everything. And they just want to be around people they care about, have good feelings, enjoy themselves. And you almost have to wonder if any of these things are actually planned, that this is the perfect time of year to ruin people's good vibes and community aspects. So I think there's a balance you have to strike. I totally understand that. We talk about it a little bit, but then we continue on with the things that actually bring us together, because otherwise we could be falling victim to exactly what they would like us to fall victim to.
I agree. Well, hey Jay, because that's enough of that now.
Okay.
Did you notice all of the new emojis in the chat room for members, YouTube members?
No.
There are customized chat rooms there for people who are members just on YouTube. It's a new way of sponsoring well, we can get custom emojis in there. And you know, one of the custom emojis is Fat J.
I did hear you say that one.
People said they wanted Fat J back. So I'm so happy that Fat J's in there.
Wow. So that's only on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, and then
I do feel good about being immortalized.
You have been.
Not so much in that way, but
this is all people are going to remember.
I hope I never live up to it.
Oh, let me tell you what I'm never going to live up to again. Okay. So last night I did something not good. You would not have approved of it.
You should ask me first.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
That's why.
Because I would have
talked you out of it.
I just, it's one of those things where you'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission.
You avoid your nutritionist.
Yeah. So, I left here at night. It was a good show. I loved, we had a great time with Lee Zagami, and I was just, I hadn't had a lot to eat yesterday. It wasn't a pure fasting day, but I was just hungry. And I said, I'm getting myself a Philly cheesesteak with a little bit of chili. And, it got to the house around 10 p.m.
Good God. Middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's bad. It's never going to happen again. It's never.
Tell everybody what happened.
Don't worry. So I got this Philly cheesesteak, and I'm sitting there with my unsweetened iced tea, if it matters.
Oh, that's, thank God. Small things.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching, I put some Sopranos season 1 on. I just started from the beginning again. And I was all done, and I was just doing my nightly routine, uploading the podcast, this and that, whatever. And I said, I got to stay up at least a little while longer because I can't just, eat this and just jump into bed.
You got to do some air squats or something.
I have to just stand up. Well, I don't know, man. I woke up at like 4:30. I mean, and I maybe it was heartburn. I don't get heartburn, so I don't know what it felt like, what it feels like. But there was just like this uneasiness, and I felt like there was some, like I don't know, there's like a chemical attack. I don't know what the hell it was. It was bad, man. I didn't know if I was going to throw up or it sucked. And I just said, I'm never doing that again, ever. Never.
I think the hardest thing, man, is to have one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the gift of forethought. Just trying to think 1 or 2 hours into the future past what you're feeling in the moment. It is really hard as a discipline, but once you learn that, you can like actually have a conversation with yourself and say, okay, I know that I'm hungry now. I'm craving this thing, whatever. And this doesn't have to be just related to wanting to eat in the middle of the night. This could be related to like your favorite treat that you've probably had too many or that you probably don't need right now. It's like, I know it's going to taste good in the moment, and that's going to be a very quick moment.
It was all right.
Right. Okay. So it was all right. But then what's going to what's likely going to happen later? I'm going to end up like having poor sleep, and then I might be sluggish the next day, or I'll even wake up like not feeling well, or and so when you do that exercise with yourself, you don't always win, but you give yourself a fighting chance, because if you don't have that conversation with yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're probably just going to go, I'm just going to go do that. So that's just like a little tip for everybody. It's okay. I talk to myself all the time. Just talk to yourself a little bit and kind of say, this probably isn't the best thing. I don't really need it. You were actually hungry. So you could have made some different choices, but a lot of times we're not even really hungry. We're just kind of like bored, or, we're trapped inside, or whatever that may be. So
yeah.
Just have that conversation with yourself. Ask yourself the question.
I'm going to have to.
And just think just a little bit down the road and see what happens.
No, that's just it. I'm just, forget about it.
I'm living in the moment.
Not with that. That was not worth it at all.
Yeah.
Pacing around, watching the sunrise this morning. I
know it happens. It happens to all of us.
Hey, you know what? Real quick before we go anywhere else, healthreclamationproject.com. I have your link in the description of the episode as always. But is there anything you got going on? Any holiday specials you're running?
Yes, sir. So for the rest of this month, for the rest of December, because we know January becomes a big time of year where everybody wants to get things rolling in the right direction. So go to the healthreclamationproject.com and use the code SANTA45. SANTA45. And that will give you a huge discount on the membership. And remember, when you join with us, you get a lot of things. One of the things you don't have to deal with is any kind of like long-term membership. So you can sign up and see what it's all about. But we do live Q&As every week. We do written material. We do video education we're finishing our foundations program. So you're going to get video information on sleep, on nutrition, on movement. We actually just hired a former colleague of mine from the hospital that I used to work at, who has a bachelor's in exercise physiology. So she's doing all of our movement routines. So she's actually going to be teaching us all about that stuff. So, and you'll also get discounts on a whole bunch of other products and services, including, once we roll into January, one-on-one appointments with either me or Jen or Kat, who's our new our new hire. So it's really, the community is building. There's about almost 60 people in there right now, which is amazing. And half the fun is doing these lives every week where we just hop on, we give you like a short little lecture, we let you ask questions, and people are just starting to have a really good time getting to know each other. So if you're looking for a community where you can actually start to work on your health, go to healthreclamationproject.com. If you use the code Santa45, you go to the membership section, and that's where that all happens. Use the code Santa45 and you'll get in. And really, think about doing that for the end of this year, for 2026, because I don't know about you, Frank, but with everything going on in the world, the one thing that you can control, and I firmly believe this because I've seen it, the one thing you can control is your health. And because if you don't have that, you've often said this, it's amazing how many problems you think there are in the world until you have a health problem. Then there's only one problem in the world.
Yeah.
And our whole goal here is to give you an outlet from the Western medicine, get you some different advice, get you a different perspective on things, teach you the basics on how to do this on your own. We don't want to create members for life unless, it's inexpensive enough where it can be a lifetime thing if you just want the community. But our goal is to teach you how to do all this so that you can then kind of go on your way, and you'll know how to read your labs, at some point on your own. You'll know how to do all these things, and you won't be trapped in that medical hamster wheel where they're just giving you drugs and then you got side effects, or you got to manage that with another drug. So I just think it's what we're building is really something outside the norm. And so if you're interested in taking a part in it, just check it out. Use the code Santa45 and we'll get you set up.
And the link is in the description.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
That's
Jay.
for the rest of the month too, though. So through all of December. So I'll remind you again when I'm in, but you can use it all the way through the rest of the month.
Next week we're going to have a very special thing that we're doing on the 23rd. So
Eve.
That'll be interesting. And then of course New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's when Molly's going to call in just to hang out with me a little bit on the 22nd. But on the 30th is when we're going to get the name of the winner of the December Christmas giveaway for Keto Brainz, which that promo code is Santa.
Oh boy.
So
Sorry.
Santa 45.
It's easy to remember, Santa and Santa 45. All kinds of discounts, including Santa.
Okay, into the super chats. Let's see. Dandy says, Merry Christmas, Frank and chats. Thank you, Dandy. I'm going to have to put all these, when we have our friend James from Pluck showing up in 15 minutes for a couple of seconds, because we didn't get to talk to him in November, but
I love his stuff.
I know. He'll be on with us for just a couple of moments and around 8:30. And remember, we're going to be doing a whole third hour on the flip side tonight. We got a lot.
I'm sleeping over. We're staying up all night.
We got a lot of stuff to watch. And also here, let me just say something else here for the flip side tonight. If you are not a monthly subscriber, I'm going to be encouraging people. There's always a lot of gold pills that gets floating out there tonight. But in the flip side, I'm going to be encouraging people to gift subscriptions in the pilled chat. So all you need to do is show up, get in the chat, and just quickly claim a subscription that people are throwing in the chat room, and you will effectively be a sponsor of the show that enjoys all the perks of sponsorship. That means that you'll, for however long you are a sponsor, every film club, book club, Sunday stream links, members only content access, it's all for you. That means you'll be able to get in on It's a Wonderful Life watch party this Friday night. So come to the flip side tonight, get into the chat room, and try your luck. See how quick your trigger finger is with that mouse. Okay, Steve Robinson says, love Jay. Merry Christmas from Montana.
Hey, Montana. Man, I love that state. I've only been there once, but God, it was so beautiful.
I've never been there.
Even just driving on the highway is an experience, and that's not something you can say, like driving on the highway here is, well, it's an experience, but it's not a good one. Montana's gorgeous.
It. I'm gonna eat a bag of sugar cookies and a gallon of ice cream.
There's Jay Britz.
Don't text me at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I had nobody.
I had nobody.
Joe Martinez, thank you so much. ST says, love Jay, his passion, and how much he compliments your energy, Frank. We're double blessed to enjoy you both. Well, it's always good to have Jay hanging out in the.
There's always been a good rapport between the two of us. Even when we had that our first meeting ever was on Zoom. But it was good. It was like a really, I've done a lot of interviews, but I really like the ones where there's a good back and forth, and that's not always the case. So this has always felt like home.
Well, my elementary school teachers said that I'm very disruptive in class.
Mine too.
And
that's probably why it works.
And I don't, He's very disruptive, and he is and he's distracting to others.
Oh my God, I think we had the same teacher.
So, go where your strengths lie.
Exactly.
And I have put all of my time into this, and
I can't believe they didn't put you. They tried to put me on drugs, and I'm older than you.
no,
they tried to put you in.
They tried with Anthony.
Yeah.
They tried with Anthony.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to do that with me.
No, they wanted. They were pushing my mom to put Anthony on Ritalin, and she didn't.
Good
she
for
didn't
her.
do it. Thank God she didn't.
Yeah, and my parents didn't either, and we were lucky to have a really good doctor who was basically like, no, he doesn't need drugs, he's just a boy. And that's like an old school way of doing things. But when you really think about what your life would be like, I mean, I have no, what would have happened to Anthony had he been on Ritalin? What would have happened to me? I have no idea, but I'm really glad I don't know.
I know.
I don't think it would have been better.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either. There is just
it's crazy.
Yeah, there's too many things that happen during those times in your life that if you are hindered, like I remember we had one friend, Joel. We had these 5 Mormon kids that lived right behind our house when we were growing up. 5 of them all had biblical names. So
they lived in the woods behind your house? Or?
Adam, Josh, Joel, Ben, Elizabeth. Joel was like the middle child, and he was put on he was put on Ritalin.
Mm-hmm.
And we just remembered, like when he was on it, like there was something just off, and they eventually took him off because he was just always it seemed so uncomfortable, like he was like in a daze, and
so
it was
awful.
Depressing. I mean, I didn't register it as depressing back then.
No,
looking back on it now, I just find it cruel.
Mm-hmm.
But people were, again, parents listening to authority figures that they trust.
Right.
This will be good for your kid. They'll be able to excel in school, whereas they're having a hard time concentrating right now. So everybody's making decisions, hopefully based on love. And
I'm sure.
But thankfully, some people were able to see how it was playing out and course correct quickly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a hyperactive kid, go outside and run.
They're gonna grow out of that, but you don't know what kind of creativity you're squashing. So
I know. Anyway, Joe Martinez, thank you. ST, we thank you. JDBGQ1 says, I'm loving Frank, and if loving Frank and Silver is wrong, then I don't want to be right. So hold on. JDBGQ1. Thank you so much. Eli P says, have you heard about Trump's speech tomorrow? Oh, I did.
Yes.
I don't know what it's all about.
I don't think anybody knows.
Hopefully it's not hopefully it's not more thoughts about Rob Reiner.
No, please keep them to yourself. I have to wonder if like this whole thing about Susie Wiles, you've probably seen that, right? She did some she did an interview with like Vanity Fair, the New York Times or both. And it was not good. I don't know how I feel about her because I don't really know her, but I know Robert Barnes can't stand her. And she's got the pretty checkered past when it comes to like pharma and tobacco. So I don't like her much from what I know about her, but I don't know her enough to really not like her. But anyway, it seemed like an interview you would do like after the administration was over, like a tell-all. And she's doing it like not even a year into the administration. So I don't like that at all. And I kind of wonder who's running sometimes his, if someone's like, if it's self-sabotage or if somebody else is running the account and like, oh yeah. And Trump is just like, yeah, that's fine, post it. But then, it kind of gets taken away from him. I'm not making excuses for him because it was really not a very useful use of his time. But it's interesting.
I just said, come on.
Yeah, it was in bad taste.
Awful. And let's see here. Ashley Snow says, I need bedtime story for my 4.5 and 2-year-old.
Oh.
Remember, it's an ounce of silver. You still have about.
I thought she was asking us to narrate one right now. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I forgot that there was something being given away.
Let's see here.
Once upon a time.
Let's see here.
A land far away. There was an organ seasoning named Pluck.
I know. Bill of Right. Oh, it's okay. There's like Samuel Adams. There's a Crispus Attucks. That's one of Chris Ann's famous ones. Okay. Crispus Attucks was a slave who became a whaler with the merchant marines in the Boston Harbor. J. Boston.
Oh, Boston Harbor. Boston Harbor.
As soon as he was a freeman. One day there was a loud ringing of bells. Freeman.
Right. Okay.
Freeman.
Like a Freeman. Like that. His name was Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan. Crispus Freeman.
He actually was just a free man, but they sandwiched it together, and now his last name is Freeman.
That's it. He heard a loud ringing. He thought it was a fire. He ran out of his ship to see where the bells were coming from. Patriots were being called to fight against the bully king. And this is they have the poem to Crispus Attucks in here too. I remember that she has read that poem on the air quite a few times. But these are great.
That's nice.
You need to know these stories. I
kind of need to know those stories.
Oh, I saved myself a copy of both of those. This is the last of some of the bonus stuff that Chris Ann sent over to the Jamboree. We put these into baskets.
That's right.
We put these into baskets and gave them away. And then, but she sent over so much that I said, "Oh, well, I'll give them away on air too."
That's very cool.
Yeah, very wonderful of her. Okay, let's see. So
I got to get on. We got to do one night. How fun would that be? Even if she was in studio sometime, and because I know she's got like a biology background. How fun would it be to nerd out on that with Chris Ann Hall?
It would be awesome.
I mean, it'd be crazy because I don't think anyone's ever heard. I've never heard her speak that way. So I would love to like see how much she remembers, and she's so quick and smart that I bet it would be a super nerdy conversation, which would be a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, in 2026, I really would love to have. I mean, I want to be able to grow this show. We're actually having a lot of success in the last few weeks ever since really finding out what the hell's going on with the platforms. The things are starting to change, and I'm happy that there's some forward momentum going into January. But I want to grow this show effectively so that we have a budget for travel.
Yeah.
Not only for me to go do something on location somewhere, but to bring someone like Chris Ann in and to put her up at a hotel for a weekend with JC and to have them in studio to do things like that and finally like get in the same room as each other.
Oh, it'd be great.
You know, I really, really want to do stuff like that. And I know it's possible. And this is the year because it's 250 years of America. It's 20 years of Quite Frankly.
What a great reason to do all that.
We got to. Oh, dude, that's another reason why.
Or we'll travel to her. We'll go down to Florida and we'll travel to her and we'll do a show on the road and we'll do half science, half history.
I would love that.
I'd go.
I think she's like in the Tampa area or something like that.
Go to Florida in February.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Okay, let's see here. Over on Rumble real quick. Colette Karma. Let me put this, hold on. Colette Karma. I don't want to lose anybody's names. Says, Merry Christmas, Frank and family. Much love. Nina. Thank you, Nina. Let's see. Dana the Powerful says, obligatory like in chat. Made it super. I made it super for them. Their books. Glad I made the show. I'm glad that you're out there, Dana. And yes, everybody on Rumble. Rumble is the same exact thing as Twitter and as YouTube. Anywhere else, like the stream, share it, comment. Rumble has an even worse spam problem than YouTube.
Really?
There's a lot of things that are there that are suppressing. I mean, this time last year, if at 8:26, I look at Rumble, there's going to be at least 1,700 people watching.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And a wet blanket has been put on everything. You can tell, because before I even start the show, there's at least 2 or 3 spam comments already in the comment section in Rumble.
Oh, really?
That I have to manually get rid of. So everybody's trying to figure this out, but it's a big part of the reason why the ground is shifting.
Yeah.
So in Rumble, that's it. Just be a part of it.
So we got 542 people watching, 103 likes. Come on. I just like the show. 104. Come on. Let's go. Like it.
Pablo Wenscabar says, hello, Frank and Jacobo Gulinello.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a nice one. I like it.
Jacobo.
Yes. Two Dogs, Mike D. If we buy a subscription for someone, do we own that person for an entire calendar year or just until the end of 2025? Thank you. If you buy a subscription for someone, where in Pilled? I mean, if it's only a month-long subscription, then maybe just for the rest of the month and a little bit into January. But you could do 12-month subscriptions there as well, and that's big. You're giving somebody a year of Quite Frank.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, so there's a lot. Mike, you be careful out there. Don't do anything too crazy. Okay, that's Mike. Jay, did I tell you what I said about Mike the other? Oh no, you weren't here. Two Dogs Mike D had put his 2 cents in on one thing or another, and it made me think about the second night of the Jamboree. I had just dropped you off home at your Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
and on the way back home or something like that, we were passing down one street that's not too far away from the venue, and at the street corner was King and Mike, two dogs, Mike D.
Yeah.
And they're just, I guess they were waiting for a ride to get back to a motel or whatever the hell it was, because they were hanging out at the end. And I just said to myself that I have so many moments in my head from that weekend, but that's just one of the best ones, is just seeing people that are from the chat room that are all over the place, that had descended upon this area, and now they were actually part of the scenery.
I know, it's weird. Right?
It's actually, oh hell, there's two dogs and King, and there's somebody else.
The chat room has exploded onto the streets of Portchester.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was great. So I don't think you were on when I had made that observation, but
yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's go and I'm going to bring in. I think James is going to be here any second. But while we're waiting on that, let's get some from Pilled. Amethyst Cat says, "Happy Tuesday, Frank and Jingle Gulinello."
Jingle.
That's good. Stacks,
timely.
Thank you. Big Chief Patriot, a third hour. This is a great day. Let's go. Love Jay. Speaking of Jay, ask Jay what the deal is with GLPs right now and availability. You want to save that for the after hours.
Okay.
Corey says, "Hey, Frank and Jermaine." Stacks, thank you again. Amethyst Cat just gifted a 1-month bronze tier subscription, and Sheeple Beware just claimed it. You see what I'm talking about? Now, for the next month, Sheeple will be able to be there for film clubs, book clubs, Sunday streams. All those private links will be sent right to their direct messages on Pilled, and that's legit.
That's fun.
That's it. So I'm telling you, there's that can happen over there. All right, that's all I have. You want to see something real quick?
Yes.
Here's a picture. Here's a video of Matt from, I don't know when the hell this was, 2010 or 11 or something. So I was personal training somebody by the park, and I had seen Matt there. Matt was the type to always like kind of harass me and my clients at the park. If he saw us up there, he would scream things, whatever. Other times he'd pull aside. This is when Matt had a dead deer in the back that he had to collect from the side of the road.
Oh God!
He was bringing the deer over to a wolf sanctuary, but he thought it'd be funny if he opened up the door and he just did a little Rocky action on it. And I had to put that up there, and of course it got so many views.
Oh my God!
And Matt just finally found it. I sent it to him, but I guess he didn't really look into the comments. And of course he found a couple of dissenting comments, and he replied to them. And I had to say, he was a lot more diplomatic than I thought he would. Like for example, let me see here. Like this guy,
low life.
Lily says low life. And here's Matt. Matt said, "Have you ever dragged a deer carcass out of the woods, load it into a van, and feed an endangered species? I'm going to guess no. Now go put your bowl of food for some feral cats so you don't feel like too much of a low life." I had to commend him on this because it is very diplomatic.
Absolutely.
Matt
He
used
didn't
to
swear or anything.
He used to risk a lot.
Oh boy, really?
In the comments that he would leave.
Yeah.
And the direct messages that he would send people. He would risk life and limb sometimes.
Oh boy.
So very, very good. Here's another one. He said, oh, that's the first one. Oh, here's another one. Simon No Ding Nail, whatever, said, "How pathetic." Here, and I said 2 weeks ago, "Quiet weirdo." But then here comes Matt this morning. "Then I went on my personal time and dropped it off at the Wolf Center, when I could have just dumped it in a green waste pile. How many endangered species have you personally helped feed?" I told him.
It's good. Well, I mean, that's your out. So that's why he was bringing it to the wolf sanctuary so they could have a carcass to feed on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I told Matt, I said, people are going to see you in the chat room. They're going to follow you. Are you okay with that? He said, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So if you guys want to go find Matt on Instagram, he doesn't post anything. It's a private account. I don't know if he'll accept you. Maybe he will. All right, let's bring James on because I've been waiting for this. We've been waiting to talk to James for a while here. We're supposed to talk back in November.
Yeah.
Well, we got him. James from eatpluck.com. What is going on, James?
Hey, man. Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
It has. And, I first and foremost, Jay and I both would like to just thank you so much for supporting the Jamboree. Because there's so many people, we needed to make that possible. You were always going to be a company that we spoke to around the holidays, just so that there wasn't such a log jam of advertising. So so people may not even know unless they were there, that you were involved. But Pluck was such a critical part of that night, especially how people were seasoning their steaks. That
we had it right out in front of the chef table. It was like literally right out there. It was great. And the chefs were asking questions about it too.
Yes. So thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that. All these months later.
Oh, man. Thank you guys for showcasing it. And it's just such a pleasure to be exposed to your audience. I don't know if I told you, but I was at an event in Florida called Hack Your Health. And someone came up to my table and they said, I just listened to my favorite show on the way here, and it was your show. Hey. And they said that they had heard you talking about Pluck. So I was like, whoa, that was like immediate response, No,
well, that's the way it works sometimes. That's why I don't trust metrics anymore. You just have to go out into the world and see who knows what's going on. Then again, I'm in New York, so I never find anybody who listens to my show. But James, before we go anywhere, first I got to say, we were talking about you right before Thanksgiving. The zesty garlic was the main ingredient in my Thanksgiving turkey's dry rub this year. So damn good. Also, we were able to talk about you during the pate stream that we did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which was incredible because, of course, Jay was making his beef liver pate. And then we also just said, hey, listen, you may not have time to make pate every day, but just throw this shit on all over the place. You were just on Shark Tank recently. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, that was wild. I didn't know this. Maybe others know about it, but they approach about 20% of the businesses that show up on Shark Tank. They actually approach. So that was news to me, and they reached out to us. They saw our ad, and they basically said, "Hey, we think you'd be a great show, a great episode. So do you want to apply?" And I was like, yeah. I'd like that exposure. So that was pretty fun. We didn't get a deal, but that's okay. I went on to really push the message of nose to tail and really just wanting to help people recognize that these are the foods that got us into this body we're in right now, the Homo sapien body. We wouldn't be here being able to have the big brain we have the language we currently have. We wouldn't be able to be as creative as we are if our ancestors hadn't eaten organ meats. And I'm just trying to bring it back to the table. Too many people are not eating these foods. Too many people are nutrient deficient, yet we're not calorie deficient. Important distinction there. And so I'm just trying to help people eat nose to tail and do it as easily and deliciously as possible.
So just because before we talk, because I just heard when we were doing our test call that there's a whole bunch of big things happening in 2026, including new flavors, which I want to know about. So beforehand, and Jay, you and James can really tag team this. Tell people at home, especially right now where we are 9 days before Christmas, and whether it's holiday cooking or just the fact that we cook every day, why do people need Pluck seasoning in their spice rack for 2026?
Yeah, I mean, the way I describe it is it's Mother Nature's multivitamin. So it's everything that Mother Nature intended us to be getting into our diet that we're not. And it's all in the way that we can get it. So it's bioavailable. It's easy for your body to assimilate it. I even was talking to someone at another event, and she was like, yeah, I'm a meat eater, and my B12 was coming up low. And I couldn't figure it out because I eat beef. So why was it low? And she said, so I started eating liver as well, and it went up. So even if you're eating muscle meat, you still might be nutrient deficient. And we kind of clump it all together and say, oh, just eat animal. It's like, no, eat the whole animal, because that's how we got here. And it has everything. It has vitamin A. It has all the B vitamins. It has very high heme iron. It's got It's got actual good protein as well. If for some reason you are low in protein, but I find that most people who are anemic, low in iron, it really serves very well, and it works like immediately. That's what's so cool about it. There's no real delay. Like we have a product called Pure, which is literally 100% organ meats. There's nothing else in it, and that product, 1 teaspoon of organ meats is equal to 2 ounces. So one teaspoon of the Pure freeze-dried powdered 100% grass-fed organ meats is equal to 2 ounces of organs. That's how concentrated the freeze-dried product is. So to me, you got to look at it like you're replacing your vitamins with it. You know, everything that science tells us we need to create life in a prenatal, it's all in organ meats.
That's super interesting. So I didn't know that. I use a lot of your stuff in when I make burgers. I'll just toss them in. So that's interesting. 2 ounces. Wow, that's a lot. So
yeah, but now that's for the Pure. That's for the
right.
Pure. The seasonings have Redmond salt in them. They've got all these spices and herbs. So those ones are more designed for just eat them. Because the way I look at it is like we're already seasoning our food.
Yeah.
And if you compare it to what people are using, most people are using like Lowry's all-purpose or something like that. And that stuff, I mean, if you look at the actual ingredient list of what's in there, I mean, really in general, what are all seasoning blends? What's the first ingredient? It's sodium, it's salt.
Yeah.
And that's because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And so what I always tell people is just using pluck. So our first ingredient is onion, our second ingredient is organ meats, and like our third or fourth ingredient is salt. So we're giving you seasonings with some salt versus other seasonings are salt with some seasoning. And so right away you get this burst of flavor because it's not salt-centric. And then the organ meats add this umami to it. And you guys probably experienced it on Thanksgiving. It just makes food taste better. So not only are you getting superior tasting food, but now everything you add it to is boosted. And who doesn't, I don't know. I personally, I don't want to fight in the kitchen. I've got kids. I don't want to make a pate and have no one eat it. Like, so I'm all about like, how can I maximize the food I'm already eating, but make it just more nutritious? And then of course, also more delicious.
Okay. So you said, well, I'm sorry, Jay.
No, I was just going to say, so, and salt, so a lot of those other seasonings are just sodium chloride. The salt that you're using is actually a full spectrum mineral salt, which is like a completely different, it's a completely different animal. And what's so interesting about the B12 that you mentioned, people don't realize B12 is one of the most, it's got a different digestive path than other vitamins. It's much more complex and requires robust digestion. So you can be eating meat and still be B12 deficient. I've seen that in clients in their labs. And so organ meat is one of the first things I go to. And what I love on your website is that you have this little matrix down there that's microdosing with frequent use equals cumulative effect. And so if you're not into, by the way, everybody loves my pate. I just want to say that. But if you're not gonna, eat a pate or don't have the time to make it, this is a way to get it in on the regular, and you can slip it into meatballs or just if you're making your own burgers. I even put it on eggs. There's a variety of different ways to get this into the diet, and nobody will know. Kids won't know. Nobody will know, and that's the incredible
nobody.
part of it.
Kids love it too. Kids react really positively to it. We always say if you could salt it, you could pluck it, and it's that versatile. But the key though is, and I love that you brought this up. It's microdosing plus frequent use. A lot of times here in America, we're always like, well, how much am I really getting? We're all about like go big or go home. But if you think about it, what we're trying to do is not be a fad, not just be a trend. We're trying to be a lifestyle habit. And when we have lifestyle changes to make around our health, the ones that are small that we just do daily.
Yes.
So we want to focus on daily and then micro movements. Those are the things that become lifestyle changes. Like think about it. If we had to brush our teeth for 2 hours a day, how many people would be brushing their teeth? There'd be some funky teeth out there, right? But because it's 2 minutes a day, it's doable. So, I always tell people, it's like, if you want something to be lasting, if you want it to be sustainable, it's got to be in small amounts. Yeah. And that's what I love about this. We already season our food, so we're not introducing a new habit. Just switch out your seasonings. And now you're not only getting superior flavor, but you're also getting these nutrients that we're missing from our standard American diet.
Okay, so just to be able to get all the most important things in, you told us beforehand that things have been going so well lately that all your shakers are sold out. When are you getting those back in?
Yeah, with Shark. So Shark Tank came out, and then in that we went bonkers. We had some big influencers talk about us. That even went bonkers. Then we had Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then Shark Tank reissued our episode, and then that went bonkers. So our shakers are pretty low right now, but we do have our large bags, and then we have our travel packs, and those are great. And if anything, honestly, the large bag is even a better deal than the shakers. It lowers your cost per serving, and we're giving you a 25% discount with Frank's code. So it's a great time to save. That's bigger discount than we're giving to anyone else. So Frank's got the best discount.
Okay, so Frankly 25 is the code to put in on eatpluck.com. And yeah, I mean, I
new flavors.
Listen, I want to talk about that.
Yes.
Because right here, so there's the original shaker for $40. I'm telling you, they're a really good size. They're fantastic. There's the original. Zesty garlic is my favorite
Mine
so
too.
far. Definitely. Spicy mild, also pretty good, but I just prefer the garlic. There's the pure you're talking about. What are the new flavors that are coming out soon, you said?
Yeah, just to be clear, the only reason it's showing 40, so those other seasons are not normally 40. It's because we only have the pure shaker, and the pure one is that 100%. The one that's just like a capsule but no capsule. That's the one that's 40. So that's the only reason it's showing 40. Normally the other ones are cheaper.
Yeah.
So so coming out in the new year, we've got some really exciting new products. So one, it's going to be habanero lime. This is for the people that really like spicy, because we have a spicy mild, but that one, it's very family friendly. But people who like a lot of spice always tell me, "Oh, it's too mild." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why we call it spicy mild."
I like it hot.
But habanero lime it's strong, and I've been giving it to people that really like hot, and they're like, "Man, this is my favorite seasoning now." Okay. So I'm really excited to get that one out to you guys. We also have, now I'm curious what Jay's going to think about this, but we are now going to also have a cinnamon.
Whoa,
we're going to have cinnamon brain. So we're going to actually get you bovine brain. We put the brain in with the cinnamon. And this is something I don't want people to freak out about, because this is something farmers used to eat all the time. If you had a cow, you ate the brain. You usually had it with your eggs. And I really do believe that this is a missing food from, that our ancestors ate, that we are missing from our diets. And I'm so excited to give people access to it. It's kind of cool because it tastes a little earthy and slightly sweet. So it's delicious in the cinnamon. Dude. And we're giving 35% of the cinnamon, 35 is the brain. So it's a very high concentrated amount. And I'm just excited to see what happens, because I've already been getting reports. Like, some people are using it and they're telling me that it's actually helping their focus. Like, I really do believe in that. I believe supports like. The organ meat you're eating is going to support that organ in you.
That's what the Weston A. Price.
I'll try it.
When he talked to Native Americans, found a very similar of attitude. But I'll tell you, man. So first of all, there's already brain in the Signal Shake. So you're already getting brain in the Signal Shake, just so you know. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking. See, so I love cinnamon on eggs. I love cinnamon and coarse sea salt on eggs. That's like a staple of mine, especially if you're gonna have some beef bacon and eggs as a breakfast. I love putting a little bit of cinnamon on. Now I would be able to actually, because I don't really use your seasoning on the eggs if I want to do something on the more sweet, less savory side. But now there would actually it was the one thing I felt like was kind of missing from the collection. So this is actually incredible. I am totally sold on this, and that's the first thing I'm going to do is do it on a bacon and eggs breakfast kind of thing. I think that's perfect.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have the cinnamon, we'll have the habanero lime, and then we'll have just brain. So for the people that are purists and don't want the cinnamon in it, we'll also be selling pure brain.
Well, James, this has been fantastic. And I obviously eatpluck.com is in the description of the episode. I hope people go and use that promo code Frankly25. I'll make sure that I get it pinned all over the place so that maybe there's a chance. We're cutting it close now. Is there a chance that some people, if they order within the next 24 hours, they might have it for Christmas, or is it
Oh, they'll if they order the large bags or the travel boxes, yes, they'll have it before Christmas. But obviously, if you want the shakers, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But that code will still be good, in the new year when we have the shakers. But I definitely recommend taking advantage of the large bags, because it really is a good value. It's like I said, it's a per serving size price. It's lower than the shakers, so it's the best value you can get.
James, it's been one. I mean, I hope it's the first of a lot more work that we do together, because I love using your product, and it's just, everybody's got a spice rack at home. They've got their red pepper flakes, their black pepper, they've got their sea salt grinders, all that other stuff. I really think that it really takes nothing to get some pluck out there with everything else, and I hope all the best for you. It continues on into 2026, my friend.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, and thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it. And just Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to everyone, and I wish everyone well. And whether you buy pluck or not, I really do hope you get some organ meats in your diet. It is truly the most nutritious food you can be eating. And I offer that everyone kind of set the goal in 26 to try to get some kind of organ meats into your diet, because I really do believe you will feel better for it. So wish you all well.
Wish you well, and
Yes,
we will
sir.
be in touch, because I mean, I got to try all the new stuff. I got to brag about it. So yeah, thank you so much, my friend, and hopefully,
Thank you guys. Be
more
well.
to come. Take care.
Take care, James.
All right, so there you go. That's very important to me, because Jay, that really that call with James.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy, and that I'm almost a little sad right there, because that call right there actually officially ends all Jamboree related operations.
We really worked it.
Yeah.
I mean, the great sponsors,
Fantastic.
so generous with their product, with their time, with their stories. I think, after hearing that, first of all, completely caught off guard, the brain and cinnamon. We're going to, how we did the pate party. I'm going to have to come over one Sunday or whatever for a morning stream, and we're going to have to do like a breakfast stream. And we'll come over and we'll make some of those like eggs with some beef bacon, and we should both try this seasoning together and give it an honest review, because I am incredibly excited. That's the only place I know you can get brain is in those Signal shakes. So how cool is that you could actually put some of that on your eggs and it would be actually sweet?
I know.
That is very cool.
When I heard cinnamon and brain, though,
But come on, you probably had that same reaction to the first time I told you need to eat liver and other organs.
I know,
right? Yeah.
I know, and the whole idea is masking it.
Yeah,
For
and
me,
cinnamon
I
is
think
very
for a
potent.
lot of people, I think it's masking it. The fact that this was turned into a seasoning,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's easy.
Yeah.
When those shakers first showed up over the course of the summer, and I was outside making a couple of steaks, and I did the oil and salt prior to the steak is on the grill. I get it off. It's starting to sit a little bit. While it's I got some butter melting on it. Once the butter is totally melted, that's when the pluck went on, and it was great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Anyway, Andrea Dalton says, "Put me in for the raffle, Frank. You're in." Chris Ann Hall was my favorite guest before you found Jay.
Oh!
Merry Christmas to you both.
I had nothing to do with this. I didn't pay for that.
Rev says, "Jay, Frank, Silver, another year of Washington, Matt." Okay, well, listen. Matt told me, I'll just tell you, Matt told me that as long as it doesn't snow.
Let's bring up the weather forecast.
Siri, what's the weather next Wednesday?
No, Tuesday. Oh, no, Wednesday?
It says it's 41 high, 27 low,
it's not.
clear. Oh, wait, that's the 24th.
Yeah.
Siri,
23rd.
what's the weather next Tuesday? 38 high, 21 low, mostly cloudy, but no precipitation.
Yeah, I see. Ooh, actually, I actually do see rain, snow showers on Tuesday, the 23rd.
Shit, really?
Yeah. Wow, that's funny.
If there's no accumulation, Matt said he would be here.
Okay.
And not only that, but I do think that we have a Martha Washington this year.
Oh boy, now you're really now the pressure's on everybody to perform. I got to go through my notes again, and I got to find new things.
The pressure is on all the cloud seeders around here. Okay, that's the pressure. Let's see here. So thank you so much. Hello Kitty says, "Hi, Frank, Jay, and chat. I hope you're all doing great. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. By the way, we are all being replaced. The Semites are ramping up their agenda." See, No, listen, please do not misinterpret.
Yes, and we want to be very clear.
Please do not misinterpret what we're saying here.
We spend 2 hours explaining ourselves.
Yes.
It's not a 4-second, social media clip or news clip.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
we're on the side of the people.
Yeah,
always the people.
Absolutely. I can't relitigate it all.
I know.
Right now.
I know. I don't have the energy.
So, and that's why it's a conversation you have once every 6 months,
right?
And
hopefully it doesn't get you nuked.
I know that's it. But it's not very.
No, I mean,
not very responsible.
Yeah, it reminded me of the time you and I were doing, I think it was when Trump, this was before the election, when he did a CNN town hall. No, it wasn't even it might have been a town hall. But he was being interviewed by CNN. You remember that famous question where the reporter asked that like 3rd grade level question, who do you want to win the war? Yeah. Russia or Ukraine?
Yeah.
Right? And he gave the best answer, the answer that I would have given, which is, I just want people to stop dying. Right. That is always my default position. I never root for the extinguishing of human life. And I'm a little bit of an anomaly there. Like, I'm not even a person, I don't root for the extinguishing of any human life. Even if you want to say somebody deserves it, like a mass murderer. Okay, fine. That's a separate debate, the capital punishment. But I will never celebrate it as a joyous occasion when life is extinguished, especially if you believe that, God put a soul in every one of us and we all had a chance. I'm not going to celebrate the extinguishing of human life. And people can disagree with me all they want, but I will never be that person. So I want to be very clear about that. I'm on the side of the people. I'm not on the side of any government.
Right. Yeah.
So take that.
I know. Unbelievable. Hey, well, let me put this in the chat room as well. Here is I just put the flip side link in the chat room. We're going to be heading over there in about 5 minutes, but I just want to make sure you have it because it's going to be a good flip side tonight.
We still got so much stuff.
We got a lot of stuff to do, but also you may be able to claim some free sponsorships to the show, just to be able to be a part of It's a Wonderful Life on Friday night. I mean, however you become a member, you'll be there. And yeah, all right, so let's see. Let's see here. Okay, Andrea Dalton, we did all that. We did great. Thank you so much. Jeannie, Yankee fan, is in there. Merry Christmas. Let's see. And on Rumble, I think we are all caught up as well. On Pilled, we're all caught up. Safety Net says Merry Christmas, Frank. And Jelly Roll chat. Frankly, family, put me in for the silver and the books. You're in there, Safety Net. Nathan says pluck is so good. Yes, it is. I put Nathan in there as well. Homegoy says, my God, pills feel like chopped liver. Yes, I know that's why. Just want to get whatever I can in. Okay, so that's it. I'm stopping everything right there. Nobody send a damn thing more unless you're not going to get counted after this. And here we go. Who's going to win the silver and the Chris Ann Hall books? Jay, do you want to do a drum roll? The winner is random name Gribble Cillin.
Ooh,
Gribble Cillin on YouTube.
That's a good name.
Yeah, well, it's a name I've seen popping up a little bit more recently. And this is I think their first win. Gribble Cillin. If you're still watching on YouTube, you get in touch with me, Frank at quitefrankly.tv. I'm going to need your address. We're going to send these to you. I need to send your address over to Tony at quitefrankly.gold, and he's going to send you now a $64 ounce of silver.
That's just crazy.
And remember, if you use promo code Frankly anytime before December 18th over on quitefrankly.gold, you're not only going to be able to get some guaranteed Christmas delivery, but anything that you buy is going to come with free bits of silver. He's sending free silver. Use promo code Frankly at quitefrankly.gold.
Man.
All right. That's that.
That's good.
Gribble Cillin.
I wonder what that name means. Gribble Cillin.
A lot of people's screen names are making less and less sense because I'm still seeing altered versions of the screen names. There's something weird going on with YouTube still.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is.
But that's a funny name. I hope it's real because I want to know what it means.
Yeah, they're a YouTube chatter.
Gribble Cillin. Okay. Wow. So what didn't we? I guess we didn't really even talk about.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to get. I know. I always feel so bad when I feel so happy for the winner.
And then all bad for all the people who don't win.
I really, like, I really wish I could give it.
I know.
I really do.
But you give away a lot more than most shows do.
I know.
I don't see a lot of shows giving stuff away.
Like, I don't know. I feel bad for like if there were any parents in the audience that really wanted the bedtime stories for budding patriots, email me, and just so I can see how many people are out there, and maybe I can get maybe I can get in touch with Chris Ann Hall and say, hey, is there anything we can do for these people? Can we get a 20%? I don't know. I don't know if there's any parents out there who especially wanted the bedtime stories for budding patriots.
I just wanted the bedtime stories for myself.
I know.
I just wanted something to read.
I'm trying to prioritize the children.
Right, fine.
Not Jay.
Lame.
The children.
Someone make about the children.
Just get in touch with me. We're all winners, Frank, says Nighthawk.
That makes me feel better.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you for saying I'll be able to sleep a little bit unless
you eat a Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak, which I will not be able to sleep or do anything.
There was a joke made, I think, on one of the Health Reclamation Project live streams when I said like, hey, if you want to hire me, I will fly around the country slapping food out of your hand when you're being bad and when you're going to eat things that you shouldn't eat. So you can hire me to like show up at your dinner and be like, well, dinner's over. You want dessert? And then they start eating something and I just go, whoosh. So I'm for hire. If you guys want to pay for my room and board, I'll come over and I'll start slapping things out of your hands. Yeah. I just want to let everybody know that may be a Health Reclamation Project perk.
I'll tell you, you'll happen. I want you that this is what'll happen. You'll go around the country, and that's when you're going to find the love of your life. You're going to go around. You're going to slap some kind of a chocolate lava cake out of somebody's hands, and you're going to lock eyes with her, and you're like, oh, there's going to be chocolate sauce. She's
all over her face.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. And you're dabbing the chocolate off of her, and
then they'll do they'll do a Hallmark movie about it, and you and your family can make fun of it.
Yes,
it's like a perfect circle.
If there's any women out there who just need an authoritarian man, please, authoritarian. So. Anyway,
Frank said to me that going to dinner with me is like going to dinner with a priest.
It is. It's like going to dinner with a priest.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I understand. I have a couple of priest friends now, and I try not to alter who I am around them too much. But I know that there's certain things I won't really go into.
They're thinking in their mind. You're like,
yeah. Like, no, we're on the same page. But, whatever. But on the other hand, she's like, you are kind of like a priest in that respect where, like, I know that you're reading the menu in a different way than everybody else at the table.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's fair.
But
I'm not.
I wouldn't do that.
My goal is just for everybody to hear the voice without me actually having to voice the voice.
Right. Anyway, it's 9:01. Come to the flip side. Get to the flip side. We're going to have a good time. We're actually going to be going until about 10. So I have some stuff to watch with Jay. It'll be fun. We'll take some more of your questions, and it'll be really off the cuff. We'll just be reading the general chat, and hopefully you guys get some subscriptions thrown your way. And that's it. Jay, you'll be back next Christmas Eve.
Tuesday, yeah.
I can't believe it.
I know. I'm trying to slow it down, but I'm not having much success.
Not going to happen.
No.
But you all have been wonderful partners in crime tonight. I'm going to have to change the title of tonight's show because we did not talk about old school television.
Or Rob.
Or have any open time or time for open lines.
Rob Reiner.
Yeah, just kind of loose. And it's shit because the I have All in the Family as the thumbnail.
I'll have to do it in the after hours.
Yeah, but that's not going to help me.
I'm trying to help you.
So much stuff.
We could go out singing the theme of All in the Family.
Yeah, we could.
Songs that made the hit parade.
You sound just like Edith.
Thank you. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
Wow.
All right. That's all
it.
you get.
All right, guys and gals, we'll see you on the flip side.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Yes, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you to Andrea Dalton, to Rev, to Hello Kitty, to Jeannie, to Steve Robinson, to Dandy, to Jay Britz, Joe Martinez, ST, JDBGQ1, Eli P, Anonymous Oliver, Ashley Snow, and Jay Britz. Thank you to everybody over on Rumble. You've been wonderful, my friends, over there on Rumble. Thank you for showing up, for talking, for chatting, for liking and commenting. I mean, that's just all you got to do. It's the greatest way to sponsor the show on a daily basis. A couple of clicks. Do that for every show that you enjoy. Thank you all so much. We'll see you on the other side.